Okay, we're going to open up the floor to head coach Rich for his opening statement on the Fall World Series.
Yeah, so I think the guys have been doing the right things. We've been practicing pretty hard, planning how we're gonna like attack these other dudes. I think we got some of the right stuff going, and I think we're practicing the right things. And I think we got the right group to take this series.
Okay, we're going to open up questions from the media. Rich, the first thing we want are your thoughts on the assistant soccer coach, Jaron.
Local legend. He's become a local legend in the past couple months, year and a half, whatever it is. I don't think he gets enough recognition for what he does on and off the pitch. Good friend of mine, and yeah, somebody that's very important to not only me but also this team.
Okay, our follow up question is going to be one, did you see his interview early on in the week? And are you putting any stock into what he said about Jackson Adams being his pick to click this Fall World Series?
100%, 120%. It wasn't a mistake that we drafted him. I think good minds think alike, and Coach Jaron, he was onto something with that. I agree with him, and I'm excited for it. So yes, Jackson Adams is 1,000% a pick to click.
Coach Rich, next question for you. In your head, is there a number of runs per game that you think that your team needs to score each game to be successful?
Yeah, I think the magic number is 1. I think we put 1 on the board, we rely on our arms, and we take the series. So yeah, 1's the number.
Thanks, Rich. Our next question is going to be for Alejandro Aguilar. Doogie, do you have any thoughts on playing for a pitching coach and not having a positional coach on your staff?
I definitely think it's more of an advantage with a guy like Rich, who just came off of being a player in the system for the past few years and now on the staff. And I feel like he knows what he needs to do to get us to win on the pitching side, and for offensively, he kind of knows what's going to be the best for us to do to win here.
My next question is for Doogie also. Doogie, it's a two-parted question. Number 1, are you happy with where you're drafted, where you were drafted? And number 2, is there anyone you want to prove wrong about where you were drafted?
So the first question, where I was drafted, that it is what it is. I can only control what I can control. I know that I'm going to bring a lot to the table and handle my business on the field to show them what I'm about out there. I'm just trying to prove all team Slaw's team wrong. That's what I'm going to do. Prove them all wrong.
Thanks, Doogie. My next question is going to be for Brennan Williams. Brennan, have you been told which game you are going to throw in the Fall World Series yet?
Yes, but I would not like to conclude that information to the other team at this time.
Can you say whether or not you will be throwing in Game 1?
Maybe.
Okay. My next question is for JD Lewis. Can you say whether or not you are going to be used as a starter or a reliever in this series? Can you give us any insight into that?
I do whatever Rich wants me to do. I got no idea.
So he hasn't told you what you're going to be doing yet. You're just showing up ready to pitch. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just here ready to win.
Jerry Darrell, next question is for you also. Could you go into a little bit in depth a little bit about the friendly wager between yourself and Brennan over the summer? Could you go into that for the fans, please? Could you do that for us?
Well, me and Brennan had a little weight journey on our friendly wager. I had to shed a few pounds, and then Brennan had to put on a few pounds. And he said he won, but he didn't really win. I ended up paying for a round of golf, but it was kind of not very fair. But it is what it is. We're on the same team now, so we all got the same goal now.
Thank you for that.
All right, Rich. So Brennan didn't really answer my question. Are you ready to announce your 3 starting pitchers, or are you keeping that close to the vest?
As of right now, I'm keeping that within the clubhouse. Just letting some things progress. Some guys we got to keep an eye on, make sure they're ready for whatever we need. As of right now, we have an idea, obviously, but we can't announce that to the public as of this time.
Okay, just switching subjects now. You mentioned having a good week of practice. Is there anything in particular you are focusing on in practice this week to get your team ready to play on Friday?
Just training with a high motor. We don't want to come into these games flat, so practicing how we want to play. Guys playing with a lot of intensity, even in practice, and also just taking care of the things that I think are important. Taking care of the baseball, good approach at the plate, doing jubs at the plate, and now pitchers throwing a lot of strikes.
Coach Rich, are you feeling any pressure at all from the outside choosing you so heavily in this? Is there any pressure on you? Do you think that is trickling down into your team from admin and students and other things like that? Are you guys feeling that pressure?
I don't think it's pressure. I think it's more confidence, knowing that we can go into the series with a lot of people on our side. I think that support doesn't really put pressure, but it kind of gives us some confidence that we're not the only people. Our team aren't the only guys that think we can win this series. We have the support of a lot of people around here and a lot of people that are close to the program and very important to us. So it's more promising and confidence boosting than it is pressure.
I would like all four of you guys to answer the next question. The narrative is that Team Slaw has the better position player group. Do we think there's any truth to that narrative? And how do we feel about that?
I think a lot of it is just noise. Obviously, they have experience, which I think that's really where the difference is. I think it's experience versus non-experience. In terms of the talent pool, I think we're just as talented as they are, and it's just about who attacks the day better in those games. But I don't think that they're a better team than we are at all.
Yeah, I totally agree with Rich. We definitely have the experience, and I guess we're going to find out who really is the better hitters. But I know we have the better arms, so I guess we're going to find out.
I don't think anybody on Team Slaw phases our pitching staff. Most of these hitters, they're going to do the same thing every at bat, which is 3 strikes and walk back to the dugout.
I definitely think some people could say that they may have the better hitters, but they just don't know who we got on our side of our team. We got some dogs out there, and people just don't know who we're about to be.
Okay, my next question, I would like all four of you to answer as well. Is there any name in particular on the other side that we're really looking forward to beating, who we really want to prove wrong and beat? Is there any name that comes to mind on Team Slaw that we're really looking forward to beating?
Slaw himself.
I got 2, Blake Russell and Carter Potts.
Mine's definitely Alec Yount.
Pretty obvious, but we got to take down Slaw. I think people are sick of seeing that side at the cookout, and it's time to get rid of it for good.
Coach, I appreciate you segue us into our next segment here. If you guys could please give me your thoughts on the side coleslaw.
Like I mentioned, not great. I think it's one of the ones that sticks around the longest. It's usually getting taken home by somebody else after the cookout. Yeah, it's just there. It's not really doing a whole lot for anybody.
I know when I go to Zaxby's, I do not get coleslaw with my chicken tenders. I keep the double fries, so if that tells you anything.
I think coleslaw at the cookout is always eaten by that weird uncle you don't really particularly communicate with that much. And usually throw that away after it's in your fridge for a couple days and you never look at it again.
I'll just keep it simple. Who the heck likes coleslaw? It's just straight up nasty. No one wants that.
Next question's for Jerry. Jerry, red slaw or white slaw?
Neither.
Brennan, red slaw or white slaw?
Never had slaw a day in my life.
Doogie, do you like your slaw spicy?
I never ate coleslaw in my life.
Allegedly.
All right, I feel like this last segment is going to go fairly quick based on our previous answers. What we're going to do is we're going to name some sides, and you're going to say whether that side is better or worse than coleslaw. We'll just pass the mic down. We'll start with Doogie. I will name a side, and you will say whether that side is better or worse. Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes all day.
Mashed potatoes.
Better.
Baked beans.
Baked beans. Baked beans over coleslaw.
Better.
Collard greens.
Collard greens.
Green beans.
Gotta take the green beans.
Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Sweet potato casserole.
Sweet potato casserole.
My next question's for Rich. Coach Rich, what are you buying for the boys after we catch this dub? What are we getting the guys?
I think it's only fitting that we take care of business on the field and then take care of business at the nice Chinese buffet called Golden Walk.
Fitting for Rich.
What is harder on the stomach? Our cafeteria or the Golden Walk buffet?
I think both can definitely, run up the toilet paper bill, but I'm going to go ahead and say the calf is probably going to be the one that makes dudes tap out before Golden Walk. I think the taste, you can make the sacrifice, you can kind of deal with the repercussions of Golden Walk. The calf there's no return from that, so.
Last question's for Jerry. Jerry, you have the most experience as a reliever in this group here. Have you ever been in a dog pile before, Jerry?
Absolutely. With my Catawba Valley Redhawks.
Could you describe for the people what it's like at the bottom of that dog pile?
You definitely don't want to be at the bottom, especially if you have the build of someone like Matt Murray or Brennan Williams.
Is Dunlap on your team?
Yes.
Are you
Don't
worried
want
about
him
him
Do not want him at
on
the
top of the dog
dog
pile? Is there anybody else we're worried about being on top of that dog pile? Maybe a Quinn Rembert?
Quinn for sure. Do not want him at the top, and I'd say myself, I don't want to be at the top either.
We'll open up the floor for any closing remarks. We appreciate you guys being here, and thanks for your time.
We're ready to take care of business. Team Rich 2024.
Team Slaw is going down. Come out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to watch it happen.
Nobody likes Buford. Good luck, Blake Russell.
It's time to go out there and shock the world and prove them wrong. They ain't seen none yet.
Thanks, guys.